Hey, I know it's been a long time since I've been around, but welcome back to Woke.Ones.Revolution. I'm Heather for those that don't know me. Decided to go live on this one because, well, suppose it's time. Guess it's been about 6 months since the channel started. Slow growth, but the growth's been in here, and that's kind of really what it's all about. Today came in because we got all kinds of crazy stuff happening. Today's the full moon in Aquarius. It's happening at 27 degrees. And alongside all kinds of T-squares, and we're just coming off the Mercury Cazimi yesterday. Wow, things are loud. So I just want to start out by thanking you guys for coming back around. I've had some really major changes happening in my life. My Venus is in the 4th house natally in Cancer, and it's just been being swept. We're already in Leo season. So the last recording I did for you guys was in June, and we were just in Gemini season, having the Cazimi with Venus and the Sun. And I got smacked in the 4th house, and found myself suddenly having to relocate after 13 years of being in the same place, and it was totally unexpected. But hey, I, being myself, I try to be as resilient and positive as I can be. I just really didn't expect it coming, but hey, Aquarius moon, I should expect the unexpected all the time, and so hence it just made me flow a little easier with it. But so I am going live because where I'm currently, I'm still in transition, let's just put it that way. But finally where I'm staying right now, I have a little bit of alone time, so I thought I'd jump on live. And with the internet connection over here, I didn't know how many hours it was going to take to upload a video, so figured I would just jump on here. This being my first live, if somebody's in here watching, it looks like there is, I don't even know how to look at your messages. That's how lame Heather is. My birthday's this week. On Friday. Be the big 4-4. Getting up there. Yeah. I think it's a extra master number year is what I'm thinking. But anyhow, let me get back to where I was. So where I'm currently residing, I have a lot of noise. Let's just put it that way. I've tried to record a couple times, and kind of next to a highway, which is next to a train track, which is next to or right underneath a where the airplanes fly constantly. So and being in Kansas, summertime, try to do this stuff outside, get hit by mosquitoes, and the locusts are going crazy. So fucking Mercury retrograde. That's what I have to say. It's been really hitting me, and yeah, collectively, I know everybody's kind of going through it, and dealing with a lot of repeats, having to redo, reassess, reintegrate, reevaluate, whatever part of the life of your life that Mercury is transiting. But he went into my 6th house for like a minute, and now he's back in my 5th house. And it's becoming a little easier, but with all these squares today, with today's full moon, definitely have some things even I myself am having to deal with, and yeah, admittedly put them off and put them off some more. and put them off some more. And I think that's kind of what a lot of these themes are that we're going to get into today. So hang in. Times are crazy, but although I'm in transition, I'm safe. I'm being as happy as I can be and as positive. I'm going through some changes, not just with home, but Saturn's in my 12th house. So he's really doing some reality checks in the unconscious realms. And I think I'm doing pretty all right. But anytime I think I'm doing pretty all right, something else comes up. I'm having to go through and with maybe I'm having to get a little more serious with some stuff. You know, adulting is so fun, right? I don't know who let us ever become adults anyways, because it's their fault. I'm a fifth houser. I love to play and have fun and all the things and create and yeah, all that lame stuff like adulting is kind of annoying to me, but hey, we can get through it. Anyways, so hey, let's get moving forward. Whoever's in here, hi, thanks for coming. I don't know how to not screw something up by touching something, but oh, Dawn, hi Dawn, I guess you were down there at the bottom. Well, happy belated birthday. My daughter's birthday is on August 6th, too. Leo. Happy birthday, Leo. Well, I'm not in a position to be able to lay out my cards like I normally like to do. You're welcome, dear. With being in transition, I even have a little thing to hold my phone so that it can record my cards and whatnot. And that got lost, so I'm like, kind of stuff's in storage, stuff's in transition. But you know what? I think it's a good pause time, you know. But I had nonstop busy going on for 2 months straight, so that's why I haven't been around. And Dawn, hun, if you are just coming by and seeing my face, I'm Heather. Woke.Ones.Revolution. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Go back, look at some of my stuff. I just here because I got a big heart. I love people. Aquarius moon. I love everybody and want everybody to have peace in their life, find healing, get out of their own way, and trust that things are going to get better, regardless of what you're going through. That whole thing, this too shall pass, same applies for today. So let's get moving. So this full moon in Aquarius today, it's at 27 degrees. Okay, and I don't know if any of you saw my post on Instagram or on Facebook, but I showed the chart, and it is T-square opposition city. Basically, for those who aren't so astrologically inclined, the energies are really tense right now, and people are really kind of agitated. You can see it everywhere, getting themselves all amped up in belief systems that, you know, sometimes can make their lives a little harder than anything. These energies that we're dealing with, there's this full moon. Aquarius is the rebel. Okay. Aquarius, this deep in the degrees, is ready for a revolution. Okay. And I can see especially any of you that are here in the United States, you can see the political unrest. Everybody's got a cause out there. Everybody's fighting, rising against oppression, and you know, I mean, you can look at everything from the housing market to picking up and wanting to go to bat and fight for those over in Israel or Pakistan. You know, that it's all getting louder and louder. Jupiter, like I said before, touches everything and it expands, and it's currently in Gemini. And with that being the case, it's amplifying communication. You want to know more about this? Go back to my June videos where I talked about this. But Gemini likes to get knowledge. Every little bit of information it can get, it's digging, it's talking, it likes to communicate. And Jupiter being in there is just making everything extra busy. Yeah, it's a loud time. Yesterday's Cazimi, Mercury, hit the same degree as the Sun in Leo. And Mercury being retrograde, Cazimi typically brings out some big truths, exposes things that you weren't expecting to hear. So I don't know what you guys heard yesterday. Personally, in my personal life, I heard a few things come out that just were really kind of enlightening and helped make some sense of some things. We're basically being confronted with some deep truths. And this full moon is calling on us to re-examine our paths, navigate through these intense emotional and mental challenges. Aquarius is a fixed sign. So, I said it's the sign of the rebel, but it's also very fixed in its beliefs. Okay. Fixed signs are dealing with some mutable energy right now. And mutable is changeable, just like it sounds, right? And when something that's ready to be changed is being hit with something that's fixed and set in stone, it makes things freaking awkward, right? It's like that person that you used to be really close with. You run into the grocery store and you're like, do I hi? Do I hug? A little awkward feeling, especially with Mercury being retrograde, because you don't really know if the messages that you're being told are the full truth. And let me just tell you, with Mercury retrograde, it's probably not. There is more that's going to be unfolding. And you'll see that story whenever Mercury stations direct and starts moving back forward towards Virgo and gets out of Leo. Mercury retrograde in Leo that we're dealing with too. Oh, I know I keep getting off track, but that's just my squirrel brain. Can't help it. But Mercury being retrograde, I might be hearing some fibs. Honestly, or even you might be telling yourself something over and over and over again, and it's being counterproductive, and telling yourself to avoid having to really deal with something that you need to maybe be a little more truthful with yourself about. But anyways, going through this full moon, I'm just going to say it's probably best just to not get mixed up in drama. Mercury in Leo. I have Mercury in Leo natally at 28 degrees. So I just got highlighted with Mercury retrograde. It's loud. Leo likes to boast. Leo likes to be proud of what it has to say and be loud and be heard. And Mercury retrograde is a little wishy-washy, I'm not sure. So if you're hearing some stuff that doesn't sound like you're hearing the full story, take it with a grain of salt. Practice the pause. Truth will be revealed in time. Okay, yes, there are some hard truths coming out with this transit, because, well, let me just back up. Just take some time and pause. Don't react. Okay, there's a difference between react and responding. Okay, keep that in mind. But the cosmos is urging us to stay grounded and avoid those impulsive decisions. Mercury retrograde in Leo can make you really just be make you pop off at the mouth and say some stuff that you're going to later regret. So, anyways, you heard it here. But yeah, reflect deeply before taking any big steps, because you might not be getting the whole story quite yet, and you don't want to act before you know. And realize that Mercury retrograde means that it's like closer to the Earth than normal. Okay. And so everybody's feeling it. Mercury rules communication. Mercury rules the brain, thought process, talking, learning, traveling. All of that is Gemini. Got to get my brakes fixed. I'm putting it off because moving was a priority, and now they're screaming at me as a drive. So Mercury retrograde to me is, hey Heather, quit procrastinating. You gotta reassess your situation. If you want to keep your truck longer, or even your life longer, and have some breaks, you gotta stay grounded and get them fixed. All right. Anyways, this Sabian symbol, Sabian symbol I was looking at, and the Sabian symbol for 27 Aquarius is an ancient pottery bowl filled with fresh violets. Sounds really beautiful, right? And it's interpreted as by Linda Hill and Dane Rujar like a delicate balance between the old and the new. Okay. The pottery bowl itself, ancient pottery bowl, it's symbolizing the wisdom of the past, while the violets represent the new life, the new hope, the renewal, right? It does suggest that with this full moon that we're called to honor our history, our roots, where we came from, while also being mutable and being adaptable to new perspectives, Innovation. Aquarius is a sign known for its forward thinking and revolutionary energy. We already talked a little bit about that. That this encourages us to blend tradition, like what we know, with innovation, repurpose, right? I love repurposing. You'll see me, over these last few years, I have found myself in Goodwill more times than normal, and garage sales, things like that, finding really old items or things that people thought were trash and repurposing them to something really cool. So, you can create anything beautiful and lasting out of something old. Maybe this old thing is a old belief you have. With Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter not only does it expand everything it touches, but it's belief systems. It's higher knowledge. What if some of those belief systems or ways of thinking or communicating have outserved their purpose, right? Maybe it speaks be a little more willing to do the rebel yell, step out of your comfort zone a bit, right? Don't give a shit what other people think. The less you care about what other people think about you, or what you're doing, or what you believe in, the easier it is to truly be yourself unapologetically, and the right people, the right opportunities, and all that jazz will start coming your way. There you go. You're right, Dawn. That's kind of been my philosophy for a really long time. And have I lost people over it? Heck yeah. But you know what? I've continued to grow. And you know what? Those stuck belief systems that people get in, you can turn on your TV and see it, right? You can visit family members and see it. It's the don't do that, you'll go to hell, or don't, like, you know what I mean, right? Like, everybody can be dogmatic and stuck in their ways and their belief systems. And, there's things that I do today that, geez, old Heather would have never considered. Like, if you would have told me, like even a decade ago, that I would be posting YouTube videos or be an astrologer, mystic outwardly, I'd have been like, hell, it took me till 6 months ago to even, when my new moon in Aquarius got hit, it's like, yeah, Heather, it's your time, unapologetically, it is me. And just like you showed up here today, Dawn, I don't know where you're at, where you're from, but I hope you're living your best life, and, not caring what other people think is definitely a good thing. Now, with my Aquarius moon, natally, I will say Aquarius moons are, although they're pretty accepting of weird, let's put it that way, accepting of people and whatnot, they're very stuck in their ways, can come off as cold. But it's not that. We just happen to see the bigger picture. I'm gonna move forward because I ramble all the time. Anyways, so we already talked really about the Mercury retrograde Kazemi, with the sun being in Leo. That was yesterday. The energies, you can still feel it today. I don't know, did you have any revelations? Did something come back and go, whoa, and give you any messages that you might have missed before? Mercury retrograde, communication's tricky. It's tricky right now. Misunderstandings left and right. I'm experiencing that quite a bit too. People are taking things the wrong way, or I've caught myself even taking things the wrong way, and I'd be like, whoa, get out of your head, Heather. That's not what was intended. Ooh, a Pisces moon. So you're just a big old hug is what a Pisces moon is to be, just a big old hug. Let's see. The whole fibbing stuff. So this really, this full moon is really highlighting, especially with Mercury retrograde and that Kazemi we had yesterday. If things have been being withheld from you, or if you've been holding something back, likely to protect yourself from something coming back or looking negative on you, I would rein that back a little bit, or just, if you're not the one holding any secrets, then you're probably cool. But if there's something that you've been thinking that's been being held back from you, don't be surprised if all of a sudden there is some pretty revelatory stuff that comes out, that really might, trigger that that Jupiter, that belief system about something or someone. So just wanted to hit that. So for those of you that are here, Dawn, you probably have, if you know what your moon sign is, you probably do watch some astrology videos and have probably heard about the Saturn square. So there's a T-square to Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. Ancient, it was Saturn that ruled Aquarius, but its modern day ruler is Uranus, which is in Taurus. Fixed, another fixed sign, okay? Taurus is an earth sign, and Uranus going through there, Uranus is electric. Uranus is the Tower card in the tarot. Uranus is the revolutionary, the game changer, the sudden epiphany, the innovator. But Uranus, typically, Uranus moments is like, let's say I didn't know that my brakes were going out and I was going down the road. Uranus moment would be like not getting that squealing ahead of time. And then all of a sudden, holy crap, I have no brakes, I can't stop. But it's all meant to revolutionize and move things forward, to break tradition, to break not just rules, but to break through belief systems and all that jazz. So, this full moon being at 27, the sun's at 27 Leo, the moon's at 27 Aquarius, Leo's opposite. So, they're forming a T-square directly to Uranus. Okay. And Uranus at 27 degrees, none of us alive have experienced this. I don't think anybody, yeah, that's in their hundreds is here watching YouTube. But unpredictability. I mean, I've been feel like there's been some times, especially leading up to these past couple weeks, that I've just been waiting for the rug to be pulled out, you know. When things start to seem like they're going smoother, and then boom, something gets yanked out, there may be that feeling of restlessness, right? Especially with Jupiter and Gemini saying go, 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 and Uranus over in Taurus. Uranus and Taurus T-squaring this full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius being the collective, right? Taurus being an earth sign of, it just makes me think of earthquakes, you know. It's almost like earthquake energy, electric shock energy. Taurus is a stable sign. It does not like to change. It likes to be very comfortable and around the people and things that it values. But it can get into a really stuck energy, right? Not being adaptable to that change, that mutability that's needed very much so in this time. And Uranus is asking us, actually it's not, Uranus doesn't ask. It's basically saying, hey, it's time to break free, right? So with the volatility that can come from this energy, you can see things like Uranus and Taurus, the further it gets, and Taurus is money, honey. It's ruled by Venus. The further you get in, the Uranus is getting in there, the heavier its weighting is, and it's buried in a bull, Taurus. It don't want to frickin' move, you know, but Uranus is like the red flag that the red cape that the matador is waving, saying, come on, you know, except for that it's almost invisible. You don't see things coming. And so it creates a lot of unrest. But, you know, these challenges are really pushing us to break free from stagnant situations. You know, there may be some sudden breakthroughs that come through. Some truths, and I just literally got, as I was thinking or speaking, wow, that was just really weird. So I thought food, Taurus, you know, a lot of people had learned to start gardening themselves and growing their own foods, and I was thinking about food shortages, okay, that historically through a similar transit that we dealt with, you go back to times where, like in New York and whatnot, like you know, like big cities, you would see the black and white photos of people going through the soup lines to get their food. Uranus going deeper and deeper into Taurus has been taking, you know, that's inflation, you know, that's the instability in the stock market, that is food shortages, that is with this Aquarian full moon, where my thought went was I wonder if they're going to start becoming more outward about these, like Impossible Burgers, or the fact that, like, I don't know, just me, I feel like so much of the food is so over processed that it's probably not even real, right? Like, I'm sure you guys can, like, Google. Don't, like, I'm not doing fact checking or anything. I'm just saying, like, you can see that stuff's been gradually getting more and more integrated into our food supply, and I feel like something needs to be outwardly, like, brought out. So I don't know. Anyways, that was just kind of something that pushed through. Um, let's see. What else do I want to touch on? Well, basically, we are wrapping up a big karmic cycle, and being pushed towards these changes, ready or not. Here Uranus comes. But we have some evolutionary energies at play as a collective. We're all experiencing that angst, is almost what it feels like, of oh wait, this shit's really going down, isn't it? I didn't want it to. I'm comfortable like this. I don't want to be uncomfortable. This can be some really uncomfortable energy. So realize that everybody's kind of going through it. Try not to be quick to pull trigger. Boom, I just got hit with watch the road rage. Even if you're in the right, flipping the finger could cause somebody to get shot. I'm just saying, or hurt, like, just be careful with your words. Everybody's at their everybody's at their breaking point. Collectively, we are popping the proverbial pimple. This next 6 months, like, the world will never be the same. There's nothing going back to the way that it was. Pluto is, it's retrograde going back towards Capricorn. And we're going to have that one last dip, but that's just to reveal a bunch of stuff that we all knew, right? We all knew. Everybody was covering up. Media, all of it, We're all going to have some big revelations. And I think even those of us that are into astrology and all the things, and a little more open-minded and see through the facades of all the things, I think there's still some surprises for us too, that even that we're going to go, whoa, no way, but we're a little more attuned to knowing how to tune out that noise of the collective. I know it's not facade, but that's the word that's coming out. Anyways, let's see. Just stay flexible. We also are dealing with on this full moon today. We're also dealing with Venus opposing Saturn. Okay, Saturn's over in Pisces, which means the polar opposite is Virgo. Okay, and geez, I'm just gonna say it. Can Venus hurry up and get that F out of Virgo right now? Because, and I'm sorry, anybody that's coupled knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. I maybe not even have to be coupled, but like I'm about to go crazy with the nitpicking and the, why isn't it this way? You should do it this way. Blah, blah, just Virgoing the shit out of me. And I'm a Virgo sun, so I'm 1 degree Virgo sun. I know how, being the perfection or needing things done a certain way are a thing, but damn, could Venus hurry up and get out of Virgo, because I am so tired of the over analytical stuff and being hyper criticized for things that I've done or not done. I'm just like, okay, fine. I will not put this on your dinner. We will leave that sauce out. I promise you. Geez, anyway, sorry. I know that's silly. But anyway, so yeah, we have Venus opposing Saturn. Okay, Venus just wants to indulge, have fun, smell the flowers, put on the makeup, spend the money. And Saturn's the dad that says your shorts are too short. are you wearing makeup? Oh, you know, all the guys that, you know, you're just trying to get attention from the guy. You go wash that shit off your face. Saturn's time. Saturn in Pisces is he's reality checking, you know, belief systems, and are you on the up and up? The anyways, that opposition can basically cause problems in love relationships, in you know, business partnerships, just not quite communicating very well back and forth. You know, there can be some friction in relationships, and you know, probably seeing some breakups during this time. Things are rough over that way. You know, it can also just bring to conscious, if you're not in a relationship or looking for a relationship, it can also bring to light just where in ourselves that we've basically been overindulging or overdoing in, or not being as practical as Saturn would like us to be, like with our finances, for example, making us feeling restricted or unfulfilled. And you know, it's probably causing people to question how stable their relationships are. You know, are they based on truth? Or being in Saturn, are they based, or being in Pisces, are they based on illusion? You know, is the structure solid, right? Or are you just, you know, I'm not even going to say that. I have to check myself. Mercury retrograde, I have to check myself. I'm not going to say that. All right. You put whatever analogy on it you want, but yeah, I'll not say that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and keep moving forward. So, oh, and in my last round of videos, I believe it was, geez, or maybe it was back in March, because this is when the first square happened. So we have, in addition to that being there, with this Aquarius full moon, we have another big aspect. Jupiter and Mars just had their conjunction. Okay. Mars, the warrior, fight, you know, action. Jupiter, big. You know, all in Gemini, it's go big, right? But it's squaring Saturn in Pisces, right? Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter conjunct Mars in Gemini, squaring Saturn is like, ouch. So I just heard the whole thing play out of, you know, a kid has a dream, right? This kid wants to grow up and be an astronaut, let's just say. And God bless him. You know, he may be cute and know his ABCs, but he's clumsy and half the time dumb as a box of rocks. And old Father Time, Saturn, is like, kid, you're going to be working at McDonald's for the rest of your life. You know, like, that's how gloom that transit energy is. It's like reality check time. And I know that was just kind of a mean example, but I just got it thrown at me, so that's what came out. I'm sure you can think of anything. You know, anybody has a dream, and, you know, I could put that into me, right? So, me, I've been spiritual my whole life. I've always looked to the stars, being into astrology and archetypes and numerology and to the tarot and crystal healing and all the things. Saturn in Pisces has been playing its role through the people that I work with, through family. I've been judged. I've had that. I've felt that. I felt that. So that's kind of what that square is. But, you know, you gotta you gotta resist the discouragement and just check yourself. Is what you're doing, these squares, and I guess I'll kind of bounce back a little bit. We're going through 3 of them. Okay, so they were conjunct, I think it was, here, let me bring out my notes, back December the 19th of 2020. That was known as the Great Conjunction. Okay, that happened when Jupiter and Saturn actually met, and they were conjunct in the sky up in 0 degrees Aquarius. Well, guess who's at 0 degrees Aquarius right now? Pluto. So Pluto's in there unveiling and checking. And we are hitting our first square. So Jupiter has moved forward. You know, Saturn's been moving forward. And at this point, with this square, it calls on us to basically, I mean, this is like a 20-year story that's added into the mix of what we're dealing with, and we're just dealing with the first square. It reflects on the tension between expansion and restriction. So Jupiter Mars expands and wants to expand big, and Saturn is restriction. It's the reality check. It's okay. So you had this grand idea. There was this thing cooking within you back in December of 2020 when these 2 giant kings were together talking. And you were percolating on some stuff and maybe looking to start a new business, maybe looking to advance your career, maybe looking to relocate, maybe looking to find a new creative passion, anything, you know, whatever you were starting, whatever it was back then for you. This first square is like concept validation, right? So Jupiter's that kid that goes, oh my gosh, I got such a big idea. And Saturn's like, really? Has it made you any money? Do you have any clients? Are they coming back? How much money have you spent on this idea? Do you really have the time? So put that into context for whatever your story is. Okay. So we're going to have 2 more of these squares. December 24th of this year. And that'll be another mutable square. You know, Gemini is mutable. It's flexible. Okay. Pisces is mutable. So that's this square that we're having pretty much now. And we've been feeling it, right? It's not just, all this stuff that I talk about is not just a one-day thing. It's something that has been building and has been building and has been building. And then we're hitting that first crescendo, you know, to be able to reevaluate where we're at and what we've been working with. The third one is going to be June 15th of 2025. And that one's going to be its big old cardinal finality. So that third square off, basically by that time Jupiter will have ingressed into Cancer. Saturn would have moved into Aries with Neptune. Saturn would have moved into Aries, and then the nodes of fate are actually going to shift from the Aries Libra axis to the Virgo Pisces axis. So, basically, this is just a check-in, you know. Are you still working on what you're supposed to be working on? These squares, basically, if we just talk the basic and foundations of astrology and aspects, when I say square, it's not bad, you know. I mean, if you look at today's current transits, it's awfully red with all those squares. Reds is what? It makes somebody immediately think, hey, high alert, right? Well, squares are a tension that basically Attention of energies that require an action for relief or forward movement. And there's a lot of potential for leveling up. There really is. I mean, if you take the steps that you need to take, yeah, squares are frustrating, but there is progress and potential in squares and addressing the squares and not just sitting fixed, sitting on your hands, not doing a damn thing and sitting in front of the TV. You know. But this Saturn square to Jupiter, since Jupiter's belief systems and Saturn is just doing a reality check and the elusive Pisces, you know, it could really, and Mercury being retrograde, it could speak to making you second guess yourself. Now, if you've been evolving on whatever your big idea was at the time of this grand conjunction back in 2020, if you've been making forward movement, but maybe something's holding you back, like you're lacking inner conviction, you know, or even clear direction. You're like, I know I've got this, but how do I move to the next? What's next, right? So this action, this square is, although it can create doubt and frustration within, like, man, should I just give up? Do not give up, okay? Saturn wants work. Jupiter just kind of wants to love and have fun and learn and all the things, but Saturn is get to business, you know. You could feel like you don't know how to move forward with your project or whatever it is that you're dealing with. Maybe this is just a good time to practice the pause. Don't stop putting in the work. Don't stop putting in the effort. Utilize Jupiter's, kind of like with the Sabian symbol almost. That's kind of just threw me back there for a minute. You know, Saturn is like old. He's like the old bull. And Jupiter's like the potential that you see in those violets when you look at them. You know, you're like, I know there's something there. There's something bigger there. And I say that about your ambitions. Let Jupiter, just got to hone your Jupiter down, you know. You don't have to, like for me, I don't have to go to every estate sale. I don't have to buy every, you know, easel or, you know, spiritual deity or whatever I see. Like I come across some of the neatest things at garage sales and anything spirituality. Like I went through a couple years of that. I'm not gonna lie, where anything I saw, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. That was like Jupiter and Venus just going crazy. But anyways, so, you know, harness in the too much. Harness it in. Saturn's calling on it. That will make the square a whole lot easier to deal with. If there's some things that you've been doing that are impractical, maybe time to be honest with yourself about it, you know, like, maybe I didn't need like 10 of those canvases. Maybe I only needed like 2, because at the end of the day, I don't have the time to invest into this or that or the other. I know I say canvases, but whatever your thing is that you're doing too much of, and maybe it's too much doubt. Maybe you're just doubting yourself too much, or how, you know, the hows of how can I, lacking that inner conviction, like I was saying. This time, don't get down on yourself, because collectively we're all dealing with the same transit. And Saturn, although it's imposing limits and working on setting all those boundaries, and he's demanding that discipline. Keep moving forward with your goals, but just make sure that what you've been working on so far has footing. Okay? And then by the time we come to the second one in December, you will have seen quite a bit of progress, providing you didn't give up. Okay? And wow. I know I kind of skipped forward and backwards. That's just how I roll. But what I wanted to get at here, like I went back to, remember how I mentioned Pluto was at 0 degrees right now of Aquarius? Well, it's retrograde and it's going back into Capricorn. People like myself, probably you, have been waiting for this moment for years. Even these squares, this is something that for years astrologers have been looking at and knew were coming, and those that properly knew how to work the energies are the ones that are moving forward. And if you haven't taken that jump and there's something that you need to be doing, we're at square one, so you better get to moving if you haven't been making the moves that you need to move, even if it's, gosh, okay, so then I just heard people, I'm like, okay, those of you that are dealing with this may actually end up seeing that, remember the opposition with Saturn and Venus, and I just heard relationships, people that have been afraid to get out of relationships that they wanted to get out of for a really long time. This is time where you might see those kind of relationships break, and maybe you needed to let go of something. Maybe this full moon is a time to help you let go of something that has been holding you back. Maybe a Saturnian-like figure that's been holding you back and making you second guess your self-worth, your value. Don't let anybody tell you your value. Don't let anybody else determine your worth. You are so worth it. Your soul did not choose to incarnate in this life to continue to be held back. Okay, so I don't know, that just came out of nowhere, but I know that I came and I hit on Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. Okay, so with this square, it's significant because with Pluto retrograding back to this degree, not only are we asking if what we have been doing holds ground, right? Like, does it have footing? Is there anything really to this idea, or have I just wasted my time? It's also, Pluto makes one dive deep, Pluto, although Uranus and all this talk is the rebel, the revolutionary, Pluto is a lot like that too, and Pluto gets a lot worse of a rap, and I don't really like that. I have Pluto exact my DC. I'm an Aries rising, Pluto and Libra exact on my DC. So every relationship I've ever had in my entire life has been very Plutonic. Death, rebirth, Pluto has lessons. He reveals secrets, he digs up stuff, so he's going to ask you those questions. Is this even relevant to me anymore? Or have I changed so much that, no, it doesn't bear any footing anymore. I've moved past that. Let that shit go. Don't let it hold you back. Get ready to get back up on that pony and move forward. giddy up. Giddy up. Yeah, but we're being asked to reflect on the progress that we've made and whether we're still aligned with our aspirations, basically. It's that reality check that asks us to reassess our goals and make the necessary adjustments to basically stay on the right path. Gonna kind of move through, let me see, what else did I want to talk about here? Okay, so I'm keep being brought back. So I just have to say, like, I keep getting brought back to relationship stuff, okay? And I know it's big because it's big for a lot of the collective. You know, me, I don't necessarily listen to astrology per se for relationship stuff. I mean, I guess the energies do impact it, but I know that there's some that only follow astrology for relationship stuff. So if you are single and looking for a partner, probably some really weird people that you come across. I would say that this full moon would call for you to be not so fixed, be adaptable. All of these energies really are calling people to step out of their comfort zones. Okay, so if you're on the dating scene, you might start noticing some really weird shit. Like, people come across some really weird things. Hey, embrace it. It doesn't have to become anything more than that. I would say definitely don't be Saturn square in Pisces is that reality check saying, okay, so he may be really, like, hard up right now and really needs some, but really? Are we going to go there? Don't do that. Don't do that before you know you got, like, a stalker and it's somebody that you're just embarrassed about, or, you know, you wind up with an STD or something. Just practice discernment, please. And that's funny that I got thrown that, because it has nothing to do with my story, but I love it when they do that, and remind me of there's more than just what I'm putting out, there's more questions that people have. Anyways, let me just look through my notes real quick and see if I had anything else really that I wanted to talk about. There's so much astrology that's happened between my last recording and this one. I felt the overwhelm just so much. I mean, between, like, moving out of a place that I'd been in for 13 years that I thought was solid, that, like, legit gave me a reality check of what the housing market's doing right now, like rent being through the roof. You know, I've been comfortably working from home most of the time over the last 4 years. My rent was decent, you know. I mean, it was pretty low even for the area that I lived in, and I'm guessing that's why I got, you know, the shaft. But, like, got moved like that. Universe was going, Heather, you're just too comfortable. And my fixed Aquarius moon was like, goddamn right I am. I'm comfortable with where I'm at. And even me, having my moon ruled by Aquarius, Uranus gave me that reality check. Saturn and Pisces gave me that reality check of, okay, well, you've been collecting all these spiritual goods. Oh, Dawn, you just moved too? There's a lot of people, like, moving or being forced to move, and the market's just not okay. Like, the experience that I've had has literally been, like, the moment I think that I have found a place. Like, I've even been, like, at the point of signing and handing over money, and Uranus was like, ha ha ha, yoink, nope. Like, so, you know, there was just something kept happening, and everything would be okay, and then I'd like, oh, look at that house, that looks great. Go look at it, and like the next door neighbors like all park in their grass in front of their front door, and you look to the other side and it looks like, you know, some kind of like meth house with a bunch of a freaking salvage yard in their front yard that you'd see right out the window, and they want like $1,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, and I'm like, no. No way. So anyways, it was very sudden, unexpected, and I am very out of my element. But you know, all we can do is, and I just saw Muhammad Ali float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You know, like all we can do is adapt, hustle and flow, baby. We got to do what we got to do, and just know that in the end of thing, at the end of everything, every experience we have, every person that we meet, every YouTube video that comes across our feed that we choose to click on is just at the right time. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. And there are beautiful lessons in everything. And everyone we meet, they all have lessons for us. So although my stay here where I'm at is going to help me get some footing to be better prepared, I have to say, admittedly, there's that whole wish that my Aquarius man, Don, you probably know what I'm talking about. You probably know what I'm talking about. I'm ready for that market just to tank so that prices can get back to normal, life can get back to normal. I mean, I think that it is going to be, there is no normal anymore, right? So there's no going back. So I'm not trying to go back. I just mean realistic. Realistic, like some of these things that I have come across lately that are just, you know, I feel like these squares, you know, in their own role are playing a bit of a game on that too. So if you think about Gemini, let's just talk of the housing market, right? So you think about Mars and Gemini, okay? Going through the third house of Gemini, that energy squaring into Pisces for that reality check. Local area, you know, your local area, Gemini travel. I could see these over Saturn doing a reality check on the over gouging, you know, I mean, doing a reality check on the price gouging. And I just really hope that collectively that the people just realize that the power is within themselves. You know, you hear power to the people. Well, there is a whole lot of truth in that. And the more people that choose to step back on those, I mean, I'm a smoker. I'm not going to lie. I smoke. But even that, if you were to think, if people quit smoking, like you think of the Great American Smoke Out or whatever, like back in the day, people would be like, okay, nobody buys cigarettes today. Well, just that saying, and you know, not only would prices go down, it's meant to do better health. I see Saturn, like people, if people with this Aquarius energy with Pluto really do some good work, I think that they could probably rise up and realize that there are power in numbers, and we can choose what we want to subscribe to, right? And you know, part of me feels like my in-betweenness of where I'm at personally right now is almost like giving a finger to the man and saying, I ain't paying for that crap, Jack, you know. Like, you take, that's just like, no, I'm not going to participate in that mess. I mean, I know not everybody has that choice, but you know, I'll be 44 this week, and for the first time in my life, I had to be like, where am I going to live? Not that I was out on the streets by any means, because I did have some, you know, I had some money to be able to have a place to stay. But still, like, it's, yeah, there's a lot of reality checks that are coming up. I totally got off guard, and I'm over an hour. I don't even know what time it is. But, yeah, so looking at Dawn here. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, you know. The, so where I'm at right now, I'm basically kind of staying short. Third house. So my third house is what's getting hit right now, with energy. Short distance travel. I'm literally staying now, like I had already been staying somewhere else, but now where I'm staying is literally within 2 miles of where I was staying before. And it's with I'm going to say a sibling, but it's different than that because it's like in a way like a family sibling, friend kind of thing, you know. So, somebody that look of like a brother, you know, and yeah, so third house, that rules siblings, that rules short distances. But we were just renting, you know. It's gonna have to get to the point where you can buy, but just the prices. I hope you found something good, Dawn. But pairing up, like you said, with your son's fiance, as you said there in the chat. I'm kind of staying with a family friend that, like, just out of the blue, I got an offer, and I was like, yes, this would be perfect. Although I'm next to a train track, next to a highway, next to a landing place for the Air Force Base that just constant fighter jets going over. I'm surprised you haven't heard it. You know, I have a music playing next to my phone so that hopefully you can drown out all the trains, planes, and automobiles. But very Gemini. Everything about my story is very Gemini, and it's crazy how literal astrology can be, right? Yeah, I believe it, and I wish you guys the best. I hope you're getting settled. I know that that's just it's so hectic. I mean, I don't remember ever moving that fast, and just I Saturn woke me the F up. Said, hey, yeah, well, while you were over here in La La Land studying astrology and, you know, given readings and stuff, your life was happening outside. It was a whole lot expensive. And I'm like, oh, I knew it was getting up there, but I hope that soon that there's a check and that market crashes, because, and I don't want to see anything happen to anybody's stocks, but I know that it will. We all know that it will. But just, you know, be very, think about the need for multiple options. Probably a good time to stay grounded in the fact that, hey, you know, like, we may need to have some food backed up. You know, like, when you get to the point where, you know, these volatile energies are happening collectively and everything's so on the brink of trace, you know, we might be dealing with some shortages and stuff with everything that we're dealing with, and Pluto backing up into Capricorn for its final dip back. Things are going to start coming out, and people are going to start being very fear-mongered, and that's not what I'm here to do at all. If anything, I'm here just to let you guys know it's going to be okay. Yes, but you do need to remember the practical side of things, right? Like, so I have noticed, and I'm not going to name names, but I've had colleagues that have lost what they thought of as their mainstream for a long time. For example, you know, losing their footing on their business and not having any control over it because it was a technical thing that happened, and losing all of their contacts for their clients and such. So like for example, Mercury retrograde and all these energies that are so unstable with what we're dealing with. We could be dealing with major major weather events, power outages, not just weather, natural earthquakes. But at the same time, we've got Gemini so active. We may, we had last month, yeah, last month we had the energy with the CrowdStrike or whatever, where technology like jacked up, airlines, medical industry were all affected. Banks, who's to say that stuff can't happen again? And are you prepared? Do you have cash on hand? Do you have gold, silver on hand? Do you have food? Do you have things that you need? I'm not saying you need to prep, but it's probably wise to maybe have a little something set back just in case something big happens, Anyways, I'm going to go through. I've been talking for about an hour and 10 now. I'm going to hit sign by sign. And, before I do have one more thing. A couple more things. Okay, so all of this energy here at 27 Aquarius, the 27 degrees, right? So, don't forget that's pretty much right at algal, right? And if you guys haven't noticed, I did write a horoscope. And I have been writing them for the new and full moons. Just check my community page. When I wasn't able to record, I did still post those. So feel free to go back and read last month's. I guess it would have been, no, it was earlier this month. The last one that spoke to the Mars algal, and the role that played. Algal is the fixed star that's known for beheading, decapitation. It's a lot of things, and very few of them don't end or create some sort of physical or metaphorical event that plays on what algal's archetype is. So when we had that last time was when old T got the attempt on his life, and we're still very much in that energy. I have to point that out, okay? So we still very much have all this action right there around algal. So expect people to lose their heads. People are gonna be losing their shit. Like when people are getting taken out of their houses, their homes, what they've always known, out of circumstances out of their control. A lot of things are asking us to be mutable, to be able to adapt, to be able to make choices. Now, mutability, they have a hard time making choices sometimes, these mutable signs. But don't get yourself so worked up on belief systems and things like that, or needing to control the outcome of something or the way that something goes down so much that you lose your head about stuff, because I will tell you, and whether you want to put this in the context of a relationship that you have with your spouse, your child, a business partner, whether this is you against a landlord, you against a boss, you against a perfect stranger on the road. Do not lose your cool. Stay cool, honey bunny. You don't want to be the one that loses your head. And this is a time where, unfortunately, with all of the the air energy going on between Aquarius and Gemini, that energy and Libra, like, so many people can just really F with their own minds, you know, and believe stories and narratives that aren't true, that they've created out of all of this uncomfortable energy that we've been going through. I would just say overall, it is a time to where, you know, if something's naturally coming to its end, then it's coming to its end, and you just need to let it go, because otherwise it's going to continue to hold you back. Okay. But if, you know, your things are typically pretty good and all of a sudden you're just feeling a little irked, or you may start thinking that somebody feels a certain way about you, or creating this narrative in your head, take a step back. Get yourself, chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself, you know, like, the actions taken, and I put this in the written horoscope because this written horoscope that I'm covering right now, it, in written term, it is on my community board. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm there, Woke.Ones.Revolution. Same thing with my Facebook, whether you want to follow my personal page or my, I recommend the Woke.Ones.Revolution page. That's just kind of where I like to post my stuff, but I post written horoscope. Feel free to go through and read all the stuff that I put in there to touch base back on that. But the actions and inactions, this is a very karmic time. And this is a very, when I say karmic time, it's also a good time to know that whether or not you've reached that pinnacle of, okay, yeah, I can check that off my list, karmic checklist. Got that one. Cool. You know, stick to your integrity. Don't always trust the narrative that's going on in your head, because that MFer will lie to you all day long. Aquarius moon. I know this. Follow your heart. Follow your intuition. And I know that may sound really cliche. That's very much not me, nor what my intention is. But this is a time where people can be very heady, right? And Mercury's retrograde. So, with this square, Jupiter's big moves being checked by Saturn, maybe stop believing the lies you're telling yourself. If it's you doing it to yourself, maybe with this full moon, it's time for you to close that out. Let yourself know that you are good enough and that you do got this. Do those check-ins, you know. And I just got, and tell everybody that you care about and love that you love them, because you never know. Wherever that came from, whoever that was for, that was not even my message. That just came. So there you go. Sign by sign. Good, Dawn. Good. All right. Well, I've kind of talked about that and that. What else do I want to say? Oh, I'm stopping personal readings. I was using a site, Booksy, but I'm going to stop using them. With my life the way that it is and has been, it's been very hard to make commitments, simply because I never know, one, when I'm going to have 5 minutes alone without interruption, and two, I'm going to say just because I need to focus on me. Yeah. A little bit of me time. I do work a full-time job as well. So in addition to, you know, working with clients, I do also have a full-time job, and my schedule's changing there too. curious to see what ends up happening with all that, with this final push back into Capricorn. My MC is 11 Cap. So this is a big story for me unfolding. And it's been, I think I posted, like, how's everybody feeling 10 years into 2024, right? It's been a long, crazy, full of frickin' go, 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 go year. I swear, I've never seen anything like it. But yeah, anyways, that's what I wanted to touch base on. I hope to be back on more often. I'm going to go through and hit the signs right quick. And for the sign-by-sign breakdown, just to kind of touch base on where this is happening in your chart personally. If you don't know your chart, encourage you. Whether it's using an app, like one of my favorite apps that I like to use is Astro Matrix. Just simply because that's the one that I came across like in 2018. And it's a good one for daily. They always have really good stuff there. And they've added in some of the asteroids and stuff. But for others, if you don't want to use an astrology app, astro.com for all, I don't even have to tell my astro friends. But anybody that doesn't know, and you're just watching me because you wanted to watch me, whatever, and you're curious, feel free to email me. My contact information, all that's on my YouTube description. Feel free to email me. Your date of birth, your date, time, city, and state, and I will get you your chart placements, so that you can start learning on your own. Perfect time with Jupiter belief systems and Gemini, which loves to learn all the details, to learn a little more about why you are who you are, the psyche behind everything. I'll tell you personally, for me, I've always been into this stuff, but it wasn't until like I had my reawakening, and that's what I call it, because it was more like a remembrance, on a soul level, more like a remembrance. Reading my natal chart interpretation for the first time. Now, I've never been a churchgoer. I've always believed that there's a higher power, but when I read my natal chart interpretation for the very first time, I bawled. I cried. I was at work at the time, like on my lunch break. And I'm like, oh my God. Huh? Oh, thank you, Dawn. The older we get, it's just another day. But, I do appreciate the happy birthday wishes. I'm just ready for things to get a whole lot quieter. It's been a busy year for me. Thank you, Dawn. I don't even know where I was at. I lost my train of thought. But, oh yeah, natal chart. When I read my birth chart for the first time, it's like I knew God existed. My whole life was like nothing quite felt right. I'd been to church. I'd heard scripture. None of it felt right. And then I was reading my chart, and I'm like, how do you know this about me? There's no fucking way. How? Like, oh my God, there is God. Hi, Unwilling Widow. Good to see you. It's my first live. Thanks for joining. But it was liberating. All those things about myself that I never quite understood, and that nobody else ever quite understood about me, were right there in front of my face. And that's when I knew God existed in consciousness, and that I am, Aries rising. Just gotta say it. I am. Anyways, welcome in. Oh, hi, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Well, I'm going to go through the sign by sign breakdown. Yeah, Kelly, I'm doing my first live because I have, it takes hours to upload videos, and I'm late on my full moon video, and today's full moon in Aquarius. So figured I'd try my first live, and today is like the closing mark of 6 months ago, the new moon in Aquarius, and that was when I first launched my channel. Promised to myself that I'd stop letting people hold me back. So, doing my first live. I know it's messy, but hey, so is life. Alright, so I'm going to go through the sign by sign. Love you too, Kelly. Alright, so for the sign by sign for this full moon in Aquarius, Aries rising. Aries is having the Aquarius full moon in their 11th house of groups, organizations, friends, community, hopes, wishes, dreams, all the things. For this Aquarius full moon, my Aries, you do need to focus on, well, it will actually be on the focus on friendships, social circles, and long-term goals. You may be seeing changes in your social life or feel the need to reassess your current aspirations. Now, with that T-square to Uranus, that Uranus and Taurus is in your second house. So that does talk about financial instability or sudden expenses that are going to shake your sense of security. Get ready for that. Be cautious with your resources. Don't waste. Don't be wasteful. Don't be overabundant. Hence, I'm an Aries rising. I'm about to have to put money out while I'm in transition and moving on new brakes. And my AC that just went out on my truck. So, yay! Anyways, Venus opposing Saturn. This is happening in your 5th and 11th house. So, challenges, my Aries, in areas of love or creative projects may arise, requiring you to balance personal desires with social responsibilities. My thought to that is, but I don't want to adult. God, jeez. All right, with Jupiter, Mars square Saturn, this is happening in 3rd and 12th houses, okay? So conflicts between your ideas or communication and your subconscious fears. Be mindful of your thoughts as they influence your actions. So, my Aries, and this applies to collective, I mean, shit, all of it. It has some good advice for people, but get out of your head. Quit believing that messed up narrative about yourself, and you know, keep in mind what you feed yourself is the reality that you live in, what you absorb every day. So if you're finding that 3rd house is internet too, so like you know, 3rd house is social media, right? Like I mean, I guess that does go bigger tonight. But anyways, so Gemini is like social media, that kind of stuff. Be mindful of what you're allowing in your feed. So if you have that friend, family member that wants to constantly, you know, like talk about politics, and although you love them, this election season's kind of like making you want to pop them in the head, maybe just unfollow for 30 days. You know, maybe hit that X and say, don't show me any more of this. You know, get your algorithms right. Check your algorithms. If your algorithms are fear-mongering or, you know, showing you stuff that you know are irking you and getting you amped up about stuff that really have no role in the reality of the way, you know, the important shit in your life right now, then time to address that. Anyways, let's see what card I can pull for my Aries. Kelly, I know you're an Aries. Let's see what we got for you. All of my oracle decks are in storage right now. There's not a card popping. Okay, I got one. Ooh. Ooh. told you. Excuse the lighting, that's weird. So, we got the Devil card. Okay. And the Devil card is the Capricorn card, but it's also Saturn, because Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn is Father Time. Saturn is restriction. Saturn is these ties, these chains that bind. Okay. It's authority. Look at her getting all luscious up there. Okay. So the Devil card, the devil was very cunning. If you look into the story of Lucifer, which is an asteroid that I study, you will see, that besides being just a fallen angel, he was very attractive, knew how to get what he wanted. So that could be some manipulative stuff. But I think that with me pulling this right here and talking about this T-square to Saturn, it's really having us check, I think, again, to that, be more practical, get out of your head. Are you really, you're not really bound there. You just are comfortable having your little freak show there. Because, this card, the devil, does speak to the overindulgence of drugs, alcohol, sex, anything that can be addictive, right? And things that hold control or power over you. Okay, so with that being a card that we just drew, I think that really speaks to the need to be mindful, not to cave too quickly to those old bad habits. Maybe even let go of some current bad habits that you may have with this full moon. The underside of the deck, we have the Strength card. Leo, how perfect. So within you, just get out of your own way, get out of your own head, and you've got this. Oh, ice cream. Kelly, you were funny. All right. Okay, well, I am moving forward. So Taurus and Taurus rising. This Aquarius full moon's happening in your 10th house, which is about your career and your public image. And, you may be experiencing some changes or revelations in your professional life. You may be even looking to reassess your career goals. And with this T-square to Uranus that's happening in your first house, yeah, expect personal upheavals. You've been feeling it anyways. You may even have a bit of an identity crisis. With Uranus, when Uranus goes through people's first houses, it really does make people reevaluate and reassess how they want to be seen. Reality checks with who they really are and who they're becoming. Sometimes when you hold on to the old and the rigid, it's a little hard to let go and accept the changes out of fear of what other people believe, what other people think. Anyways, just embrace the change and be open to new ways of expressing yourself. I know that flexibility and being open to change isn't something that Taurus is too comfortable with, naturally. But it'd be a whole lot cooler if you did. All right, no, I kid. Anyways, so there you go. Venus opposite Saturn for you guys. More homework. Tension between home and life and career. 4th house, 10th house. You may be feeling torn between your professional duties and obligations of personal needs. I would just say, keep in mind, you guys are always the workhorses anyways. The work will always be there. tomorrow. Okay. You know, maybe use this full moon as a time, and that Saturn T-square as a time to check the reality of the time that you're investing and the payback that you're getting. Okay. You know, you can work and work and work and work and be wealthy. You know, you can work and work and work and work and be poor. But what, at the end, what is it all for? It's for the things that you value, Taurus, right? So we all know you value your work ethic, your hard work, your creativity, your aesthetic. I just heard your aesthetic. But even more so, home. Home is big to you. You know, that Cancer energy. So, you know, set better boundaries around your work to try to help better honor that which you value the most at home, whether it be, you know, your privacy, whether it be your security, whether it be your spouse or your children, your animals. If you're feeling just really stripped down and that you're like, oh, I can't take one more thing on my plate, like I have felt that energy, prioritize that and those that matter the most to you. You know, with this Jupiter square, that Jupiter-Mars squaring Saturn over in Pisces happened in your 2nd and 11th house. Your financial goals may be clashing with your social aspirations. So same thing applies. You know, your need to make money and continue that steady stream of income. Dude, it's not just affecting home. It's affecting your group life and your friends and your connections too. So take some time to reassess this. Okay, think of ways that maybe you could change up your day a little bit, you know, change up your schedule. Free up an extra hour in the day. Take off an hour early, you know. Say no to a new client coming in. Or maybe next week, kind of have some personal matters to tend to. So although I'm working, we're going to have to put you out a little bit. You know, people understand. Everybody's dealing with it their own way. So, oh, bye, Kelly. Those kittens have had her busy. Love you too, sis. All right. So anyways, let's see what kind of card I've got to pull for my Taurus. I'm going to have to go a whole lot faster. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of free time. I only have a little bit longer free time before I start getting interrupted. This one is coming out. There's no stopping it. All these major arcanas today, I'm kind of digging it. The Chariot. Cancer. Cancer energy. So all I kept... Sorry. Dinner's ready. Get in your damn car and drive your ass home and come eat some dinner with your family. No, that's kind of what I heard when I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I always see the duality in this card, you know. Let's see. Guiding spirit of God, divine spirit driving, you know, taking the reins and driving you and taking that inner conviction and letting it carry you through. And as I was looking at this card, staring back at me, if you look at that canopy over his head, it's got the 4 posts holding it up. Hence 4 of Wands. Okay. So that foundation, you know. Sometimes it's just about going back to basics, you know, that foundation that you carry within you. Let that be the driving force, you know. The money will always be there. Home. What home means to you. Who home is to you. Let that be your driving force. Hangman in reverse is the underside of the deck. And I'm not kidding. That's 4 major arcana in a row. You've done your thinking. You've done your contemplating. You've been busy working. Time to start implementing it. You know what's best for you. And how to move forward with it. I'm going next to Gemini and Gemini rising. This Aquarius moon's happening in your 9th house. So focus on higher education, philosophical beliefs, travel, religion, and I want to say like online. You may even experience shifts in your worldview. You know, look at different perspectives. You know, get out there, look at some weird shit. You know, Aquarius full moon's all about letting your freak flag fly. My Geminis, which I know you love to do. And you may just find yourself a long distance connection. Who knows? T-square to Uranus is happening in your 12th house. So Uranus in the 12th house is something you have to be pretty careful with. Yes, it can bring through some revelatory stuff, but it can also cause you to make some really dumb decisions that you can't take back. So like those hidden fears or subconscious patterns, it's, you know, they may come to the surface. 100% just heard, stay away from alcohol. Algol, stay away from alcohol. Pisces at 29, Neptune at 29 degrees, Saturn in Pisces. Do not bury those fears in overindulgence in drugs, alcohol, anything addictive, because that is self-undoing and you can't take this one back, okay? So take some time for some introspection. Find things that you utilize the 12th house, Uranus, to maybe have some creative breakthroughs. Something to think about. Venus opposing Saturn's happening in your 3rd and 9th house. Communication and travel plans may have some delays and obstacles. Mercury is retrograde as well. So be patient and avoid making hasty decisions. Again, Gemini. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Okay. Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, square to Saturn is happening in your 1st and 10th house. So your personal ambitions to move forward may conflict with your professional responsibilities. Just, you know, prioritize that which you want to prioritize and be clear about it. I know it's Mercury retrograde. It's just about done. Let's get you guys a card. It's for my Gemini. For this Aquarius full moon, please. That one popped. So I got 2. We got the King of Pentacles. I always think that one looks like Robert Downey Jr. for some reason. And the 2 of Swords reversed. Okay. So really, I mean, I know you've got, you know, work obligations really messing with you, and keeping you from being able to do what you want to do. But keep holding it down. Saturn likes it when you're doing your work. You know, the subconscious fears may clash with your bigger vision for the future. So you got to reflect on how past experiences shape your present, right? Like, I think he almost looks like, with this, he almost looks like he's like, okay, all right then. He's just wanting to back out. Back out. I know you're all up in your head, Gemini. I know you're all up in your head. And you're bored. There's so much more that you want to do. Keep working hard, you know. Um, Between that 12th and 9th house with that Saturn, with that square to Saturn, hmm. I don't know, and I said 10th and 9th. I meant 1st and 10th house, that square with Gemini. My apologies. But just keep doing the work. There's more time to play later, okay? Just don't let yourself get so down. Maybe it's time to go through and, okay, so with the whole 3rd, 9th house, stop, communicate. You know, maybe get online, get in some forums, online forums. If you're too busy working, or if there's stuff that you're into and you can't find people that are into the same kind of thing, you may want to, like, for me, I joined astrology groups, spiritual groups, and started finding people with like minds. Maybe it's time you do that too. You know, we know you are king of your domain. You know, start showing that to people, and maybe be a little mindful with your words and how you're doing it. My Geminis, I totally wanted to hop forward and I didn't mean to, but for my Cancers and Cancer risings, this full moon is happening in your 8th house, that talks all about intimacy, shared resources, transformation. Okay, could be death, but it could be death of a, wow, there's our death of a source of income, death of an addiction, death of a secret by it being revealed. Okay, well, you may need to address some deep-seated fears or financial dependencies. I think you know that. This T-square is happening in your 11th house to Uranus. So 11th house, social groups, you may be noticing changes there. Some changes in your long-term goals may actually also arise depending on how much your hopes and wishes have changed. Yeah, it's time for you to be open to alliances and directions. And I know you have a hard time trusting. So, you know, if there's, you know, put your feelers out there. Maybe there's somebody that is being aligned with you in your life at this time, that there's a reason for it. It's a little rougher. So the opposition between Saturn and Venus is happening in your 2nd and 8th house. So financial limitations and challenges in sharing resources with others. Avoid impulsive spending. And yeah, the whole subconscious thing is happening in your 12th and 9th house. And my bad, I went back and said that with Gemini, but basically you could be getting in your own way. Subconscious, hidden beliefs, subconscious patterns may clash with, you know, the way things really are. Like, are you holding on to something that you're cheating yourself out of better outcomes because you're scared of something that have happened before when you were in this situation similar? Holding on to those old belief systems isn't going to serve you during this time. And I know you're feeling it, especially with Saturn's pull. For you, speaking of pull, got the Queen of Wands. Stand in your power. Just don't overdo. Okay. Use your intuition, but let your guard down a little bit. Okay. I think a lot of times you can be so big with your love and be taken advantage of, you know, between the whole opposition to Taurus, you Scorpios, when it comes to when you let yourselves out there. You can take hard hits when the feelings aren't reciprocal, or if it is an equal give and take. Just stand in your integrity, you know. You have to be willing to share, okay? But you have to see own side of it where you have a hard time releasing control. Okay, so the queen, you don't make it to queen by not having control over your shit, right? I mean, but it's not just about controlling others. It's having the desire within, being able to control your own desires, you know, and it's your desire to overexpend, to overindulge, to whatever. Just stand on your integrity and you'll be good to go there. Underside of the deck, Princess of Swords. Yeah, have some fun. Get out. Laugh. Go see a funny movie. Go see a chick flick. Princess of Swords. Just got that randomly. You know, sometimes just sharing time with some other people can help you lighten up the load a little bit. But I wish you the best for this Aquarius full moon. Got to keep moving. Leo rising. This Aquarius full moon is happening in your 7th house. Relationships and partnerships are highlighted. You may experience shifts in your close connections and need to reassess your commitments. Yeah. The square to Uranus is happening in your 10th house. Career disruptions, unexpected changes in your public image may occur. Stay adaptable and open to new opportunities. Okay, so this opposition between Venus and Saturn is happening in your 1st and 7th. Tension between self-expression and relationship responsibilities. Be mindful of how you balance personal desires with your partnership needs. And this Jupiter square Mars is in your 11th and 8th house. So social aspirations, they may conflict with deeper emotional and financial needs. Evaluate the long-term impact of your goals, okay? So, Leo, I will just say, with Mercury retrograding through you and you dealing with these tensions in relationships and partnerships being highlighted, it's going to be, communication is very important, okay? And Mercury retrograde in your sign, alongside the sun, can really make you pretty matter of fact about the shit that comes out of your mouth, even though it may be asked backwards, rude, mean, and maybe even demeaning to the person next to you. Everything that you find funny, not everybody does, okay? So keep that in mind. With Mercury being retrograde, things could probably be taken the wrong way. Know your audience. All right, so, maybe a little too much play. Maybe need to work a little, get back to work a little bit, start grinding a bit more. I know it's your season, but, you know, it's quit. Maybe, I know you like to be the life of the party. Maybe you don't need to buy all the pizza and booze or drinks for everybody, right? Because your finances are telling you shouldn't be doing that shit. All right. Okay, for you, I got the Fool card in reverse, not a joke, another major arcana. So I'll let you look at it in the upright. Pretty damn cool card, right? Well, I think my advice that I just gave you, explain this Fool card. Don't be afraid to try new things. However, don't have so much damn fun that you're falling off a cliff in the meantime, right? Don't be a fool and say stuff that you can't take back. 6 of Wands underneath in reverse. Okay, so yeah, time to take a step back a little bit. Well, it says I'm live again. That was weird. I guess it just looped out and looped back in. I hope I was still there the whole time. It's still clocking. All right, so my Virgo and my Virgo rising, this is happening, Aquarius full moon is happening in your 6th house. Of daily routines, health, work, environment are highlighted. You may need to make adjustments to your habits and address health concerns, okay? So if there's something that's been going on with your health that you've kind of passed off, this Aquarius full moon is bringing it back to light, okay? Don't ignore it. This T-square from that's happening to Uranus in the 9th house. Expect unexpected shifts in your beliefs or long-distance connections may occur. Be open to new perspectives. Venus is opposing Saturn in your 12th and 6th houses. Hidden fears or subconscious patterns may impact your daily life. Time for some self-care and reflection. And this Jupiter-Mars Saturn square in your 10th and 7th house of career and relationships. Excuse me. Okay. Is going to be stirring some stuff up. Kind of like Taurus. Just be careful. You know, don't spend so much time working, cleaning, organizing, doing that you're neglecting your partner. You're going to have a lot of push and pull energies going on. Geez, I just was looking at this here with the full moon. 6, you may be going through, like me, you may be going through some schedule changes, but the health thing, I keep getting drawn back to that. And sometimes with all of this air energy, the health matters can actually be here. So I'm getting drawn there. Just a second here. Oh. All right. So I'm sorry I got all distracted with you. I had cards fall on the floor. So I got the 10 of Cups for you. Very cool. And the 9 of Wands. Okay. Boundaries. 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 You got to be clear on your priorities and clear on your boundaries. Mercury retrograde can skew boundaries a little bit. So can Neptune and Pisces at 29 degrees. Maybe the Jupiter-Mars square to Saturn is with the 10th and 7th house. Trying to make you set better emotional, better boundaries about your drive, your work, your ambition, and skewing, taking for granted. That's what I just got. Don't take for granted the people that are with you as you're doing it. That 10 of Cups right there reflects that there's a lot of love around you. Okay. But if you don't, being an earth sign, you can be a little more grounded with your emotions, and it could come off a little cold. So just be clear and make your feelings clear to those who you're with, on what you're aiming for, why you're aiming for it, and maybe you guys can work out a solution together on how to prioritize your alone times if it's relationship stuff. So Libra rising, this Aquarius full moon's happening in your 5th house. So creative projects, fun, love affairs, self-expressions, all highlighted. You may have a little spark up in your relationship or romantic life, or all of a sudden creative endeavors. You may find yourself wanting to, break out a new painting, drawing, anything creative. Start doing you may find yourself wanting to go ahead and starting to do that. But those are all highlighted. Maybe you have been doing that, and you have some art that you need to display. I keep using art because that's just me. I do art. So, but you may experience shifts in your romantic life or creative pursuits. So be ready for that. T-square to Uranus in your 8th house, financial instability. Unexpected changes and shared resources may arise. Be cautious with joint adventures or joint investments. That pretty much says it all. So Venus opposite Saturn in your 11th and 5th house. Tensions between social obligations and personal desires. You may need to balance your commitments to others and your own needs. So Libras, you guys are friends with everybody. Maybe you're feeling a little stressed. Like, do you need friends to... Maybe your friends need to learn a little bit about your boundaries, and, maybe you need to spend more time with your spouse, or vice versa. Just that may just be brought to the forefront. Jupiter square Mars and Saturn in your 9th and 6th houses. So This is all about travel, far distance travel, philosophies, educational pursuits that may be conflicting with your daily responsibilities, your everyday work. So be mindful of how your actions align with your long-term vision goals. Immediately, I got the Judgment card out for you. I got your card. Pretty cool. So just stand in your integrity. Keep loving life. Financial matters change. But if you are going to get invested with somebody financially, like on a business, a goal, a pleasure or something, if you're going to split something, make sure that you have everything talked out properly ahead of time. Libra judgment balance is all about, standing in your integrity, making sure that all's fair, the karmic repercussions of things. So just keep that in mind. On your side, we got that handsome Prince of Wands. Some passion. Some passion. You guys might be getting some passion this full moon. Ooh. Where's Jupiter? Jupiter, I said, was in your... Oh. Ooh, y'all don't want... Okay, you don't want no babies. You might just want to be watching out for that. Okay, anyways. Scorpio rising, Aquarius full moon is happening in your 4th house. A home, family, emotional foundations are highlighted. You may need to address issues related to your living situation or family dynamics. That's a big one, okay? So, it's tough. T-square to Uranus in your 7th house, so expect unexpected changes in your relationships or partnerships that may arise. Stay adaptable and open to new ways of relating. Just like I was mentioning a bit earlier. I feel like I did Scorpios earlier. Why do I feel like that? Did I talk about Scorpio already? Why do I feel like that? All right. Oh, I guess I'm doing the opposite side. So everything I said is flip-flopped. So that's why. Okay. So this T-square to Uranus is happening in your 7th houses. So like I said, unexpected relationship or partnerships may arise. Expected changes in those relationships. Stay open to new ways of relating. Just things are going to be different, and you may not be able to talk to somebody that you're used to talking to all the time. They may have some stuff going on that changes, so find a different way to talk to them. Venus opposite Saturn between your 10th and 4th house. Career responsibilities may clash with your personal or family needs. So let's see. Do I really want to try to apply for this job? Do I really want to move up in this? Like your career ambitions versus realistically, are you needed at home? Do you have a elderly parent or a child situation that you have to worry a little more about? That might be doing a little push-pull for you. The Jupiter, Mars, Saturn square in your 8th and 5th house. So that's the financial obligations and deep emotional connections that may conflict with your creative pursuits. It sounds like you got a lot bearing down on you in some big areas. So be careful with, I know I already said this, overindulgence. Be cautious with your investments, both emotional and financial, and ensure that you're making decisions that align with your long-term goals, not just with career, but with home matters, because that does play into it. So you got the Star card and the 9 of Swords, okay? It's okay to chase after that wish, that dream. This card does align, and it is the Aquarius it's the Aquarius card. With that, it talks about hopes, dreams, wishes. This speaks more to your thoughts about what maybe others might think, say. Yeah, that's all good and fine and well. I want this. This is my dream. I don't care. I want the pink flamingo. And it's going to be pouring out water with me and pouring out love. All next to that, And, oh, but that's a stupid idea. You could never have a pink flamingo. Blah, 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 blah. You get the gist, right? Get out of your own head. There may be gossip. Don't care what other people think. I know I keep saying that over and over and over again. So with that, move forward to Sag rising, Sag sun, Sag rising. Drink. I'm really hurrying because I got to be off of here fast. So this Aquarius full moon is happening in your third house. So communication, local community, and short trips are highlighted, right? Just like they were for Gemini. You may experience shifts in your daily interactions or reconsider your approach to learning or sharing information. Okay. T-square to Uranus is happening in your 6th house of everyday stuff. Disruptions in your routine, your daily health, your work environment may occur, so just be flexible. Sudden change could prompt you to adjust your approach to how you handle your daily life. Do you need to wake up 30 minutes earlier every day? Do you need an hour of quiet before you even start to get ready to help start your day? You know, time to look at that kind of stuff. All right, so Venus opposite Saturn in your 9th and 3rd house, tension between your broader philosophical beliefs and your immediate concerns, okay? So travel plans, educational pursuits may face delays, obstacles requiring patience and careful planning. Jupiter, Mars square to your Saturn, 7th and 4th house matters, okay? So relationships and home. So relationship dynamics may clash with your family or home life, responsibilities. Be mindful of how your partnerships and how they actually influence your security and stability, really. Okay. Boop. Boop. For you, I got the Ace of Pentacles. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. What do we got underneath it? The Fool underneath in reverse. Okay. So, let's look at that. New. Okay. So, new. Maybe there's a physical thing that will help. Like, I was just trying to think, like, I mean, yes, of course, could be making new money, a new stream, new avenue of income and things. It could be also that some of these disruptions are because you've got a new job or because you need to buy a new thing. But that Ace of Pentacles, too, also speaks to health. And since the 6th house is activated during this transit, you know, maybe integrate a new health, something that will help your health routine for your daily thing. Maybe go on a walk for 15 minutes every night after you eat dinner. Wear yourself out. You can't sleep at night, wear yourself out. Anyways, like a new thing. Maybe you need meditative music. Maybe you need earplugs, a thing. You know, maybe you need to implement something to help change what's unstable in your daily life, to help overcome some of these challenges that you're going to be dealing with. So Capricorn rising, this Aquarius full moon is happening in your 2nd house. Finances, values, personal resources are highlighted, everything that you value. You may need to reassess your financial strategies or question your approach to material security. This T-square to Uranus in your 5th house. That could be crazy. Oh, you don't want a baby. Better not be playing too hard. Whoa, all right. Unexpected changes in relationships, romantic relationships, or creative projects may occur. Be open to new forms of self-expression and allow room for spontaneity. I know you guys can be a little, you know, serious. I always say Capricorn. Why are you so serious, Capricorn? But yeah, allow yourself to have a little fun. This Venus opposite Saturn's happening in your 8th and 2nd, so more challenges related to shared resources, you know, or financial dependencies. Is somebody borrowing all the time from you? Are you getting it back? You know, like those kind of matters, right? So be cautious with joint investments and ensure that they align, that your values and their values align, right? Conversation. I just got like communication is really key. So make sure that it's clear. Okay. Jupiter, Mars, squaring to Saturn. It's been going on in your 6th and 3rd house. Daily work routines may conflict with your communication style or your local community involvement. Be clear about your priorities and how you manage your time. Okay. God, that's exciting. The T square to Uranus actually looks fun. Okay, so if you Capricorns have needed to kind of let your hair down and let loose a little bit, it's time for you to have some fun. Okay, that's it. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the 8 of Pentacles, like this is pretty Capricorn energy. This is like insecurity of like that you're not working hard or not putting in the work, or there's something missing. Okay, when I'm looking at this and I got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, perhaps this is some hardcore judgments that you yourself have been putting, or standards that you've been holding yourself to, that have been okay. So I just got creative passions and stuff is not something that you've really been focusing on, because you've been so focusing on building the pentacles and your hard work and technique into your practices or your job or your income or whatever. But like a bit of an insecurity and turning down of, rejection of, being willing to explore the more creative side of yourself. So the 5th house energy is inviting you. Like that's it's just literally like, it may be something unexpected. You may have somebody hit you up and be like, yo, we're going to go spray paint a bridge, you know, like, or we're going to go learn tap dancing. We're going to go whatever it is. Anyways, say yes. Say yes, Capricorn. Quit being so rigid and stuck in your ways. Aquarius. Hi, this is your full moon. So my Aquarius and my Aquarius rising, and I'll own it, my Aquarius moon. Woohoo! 1st house is the one that this full moon is hitting. So it's right on your personal identity, who you are, how you express yourself, what your goals are going to be highlighted. So this full moon brings out, and actually may bring out, significant revelations about your personal path that you're on. Are you on the right path? And are you really presenting yourself to the world the way that you want to? Okay, so it's all about outer expression, how people take you, how you act, how you react, happening right on you. So the flag, the freak flag fly, let you do whatever you want to do. Be unapologetically yourself, but don't lie to yourself. Are you on the right path? Are you doing the right stuff? So T square to Uranus is happening in your 4th house at home, family, environment. Unexpected changes may be happening around there. Emotional foundations are going to be shaken too. You know, just be flexible and adaptable. It'll help you navigate these disruptions. This Venus opposite Saturn in your 7th and 1st house, tensions and close relationships may arise, particularly regarding around how you balance your personal desires with your partnership obligations. Be mindful of how you assert your individuality within your relationships. So you may need some free time to yourself, okay? You may need to be able to get out and explore and create and do all the things that you need to do, but don't let your partner feel left out. You know, help them if you are partnered up. Let them understand. If it's a business partner, let them know. Hey, look, it's nothing personal. I just really, I've been overwhelmed. I need a break. I'm going to go take a drive and turn the music up full blast. I just need a half hour. I just need, you know. So just keep the communication open. Be clear, concise about the communication. Don't let there be any misunderstandings, because it's very much a time where people can have a lot of misunderstandings about what you're up to. So with that, same thing with me, with what I was saying earlier, like create. If you're busy wanting to create or to learn something new, And your loved ones are like, but hey, Mom, Auntie, hey sis, hey Heather, hey babe, yeah, push pull everywhere. Um, just gotta set those boundaries. Hey, I need this time. Okay, I need this time to do this. And things will work out a whole lot smoother for you. Just got one pop. And Four Swords in reverse. Okay, this would indicate that shit's been kind of hard. You've really been in your head about some shit. You're going through some. You've been going through some pain. You've sat with it. You've really taken it in, and now it's time to see where that lesson was. Or did you really take it in, or did you miss a lesson in what you were going through? Okay, swords are thought processing, communication. This can speak to. It can speak to the conversation you have with somebody after you break up. It can speak to a conversation that you don't necessarily want to have, but you know is necessary to tie up loose ends. Okay, so you are enrolling your kids in school, but you've got to go talk to the school counselor and okay, just you've gone through it. There you go. There's your full moon. That's the other side of the deck. So I think there are some revelatory things that are going to be coming through to you, and honestly, it may end up being your ruling sign. This Uranus square. You may just get the answer where you least expect it, and don't ignore it. I'm being told don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. All right, Pisces. Did I even do, you guys? I don't think I did. So this Aquarius full moon is happening in your 12th house, the house of subconscious patterns, self-undoing, hidden fears, and spiritual matters, addictions, hospitals, ashrams, all the things, right? So this full moon may bring deep insights to you or revelations that prompt you to release old habits or beliefs that no longer serve you. This T-square to Uranus in your 3rd house, disruptions may occur in communication. Again, the whole Mercury retrograde thing. Or sudden changes in your local environment may occur. So stay open to new ideas and be prepared for unexpected news or information. This Venus opposite Saturn in your 6th and 12th house. Challenges in balancing work responsibilities with your need for rest and retreat. Be mindful of how your daily routines affect your mental health and your emotional well-being. Okay. I know this to be very true for many Pisces and Pisces risings that I know personally in my life right now. God love them. They're just really feeling it hard. So if you see a Pisces or Pisces rising, give them a hug. They need it. They feel like they've been getting thrown through the washer. And with Saturn being, Saturn is basically transiting the 1st house. I think, what did I say, 6th and 12th? No. Oh, here we go. 4th and 1st house. I didn't get there yet. Well, I'll shut up. Jupiter, Mars square Saturn in your 4th and your 1st house. Saturn's in Pisces' 1st house. Family or home life responsibilities may conflict with your personal ambitions or sense of identity. Consider how your roots influence your current path and whether adjustments are needed to align with your true self. So a lot of unconscious patterns are happening with upbringing, family stuff, and realizing that it's okay that you're not what your family, who your family expects you to be, assumes you are at this point. That you don't carry the same belief systems. It's okay. It's okay that you're changing. It's okay. Come out and play. Embrace it. So anyways, Prince of Wands was the card for my Pisces, and my Pisces rising. Whew, he handsome again. He's out there. So, with that, You're probably looking really good right about now. All Debbie-air and your Saturnian look and all grown, getting all grown up. Anyways, just, you know, with that, I'm just saying, I'm hearing listen to your heart. Let your passions fuel you. Be yourself unapologetically, all in Leo style. I like that the lion's right there. You know, take on those new tasks and adventures with bravery and finesse. You know, you're on the right track. Stay strong. Was other side of the deck, strength again. So basically, you know, I mean, we've covered this over and over and over again. Geez, Louise, you know, be open, be adaptable to change. You know, it's an intense time and a potent moment that we're dealing with. I mean, this square, this 3-time square that I talked about at the beginning of the video, it's more of a slow-moving change that's happening, but it's a revolution. It's a revolutionary change, okay? And it is not going to stop or slow down, but it's one of those that, no, you're probably not going to wake up tomorrow and your whole world's changed. No, it's not going to be like that. But in the scope of things, just like in history or history books, right? They probably didn't know that they were going through these big things as they were experiencing it. They're just like, holy crap, stuff's really rough right now. Life's hard. But, geez. Wow. Like, that's where we're at. You know, these pivotal moments that are unfolding. And, wow, some of them are really eye-opening and be like, whoa, I can't believe that just happened. But we're going to look back at this time in a couple of years and be like, whoa, that was the moment. That was the moment, right? Like, this is a big, huge time, and it's a big karmic time. So stay on your up and up. You know, don't let naysayers get to you. Stand in your integrity. Follow your heart. You know, check yourself. Like I said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. If there's things that you've really let go and not been buckling down on, check yourself. Don't be passing your shit off on other people and go, oh, well, it's your fault, it's your fault, your fault. It is not the time to be a victim, play victim. It is not the time to pass the buck. It is time to own your shit. And Saturn and Pisces and this square with this full moon, everything going here is shining a light on every single bit of that. Where are you getting in your own way? Where are you stuck? Start making the necessary changes so that come this next square, December 24th of this year, you'll be feeling a whole lot more comfortable and certain in your goals and where you're going. So yeah, confront those uncomfortable truths, reassess those goals. Make deliberate choices rather than impulsive decisions. Okay? Practice discernment. Stay grounded. Stand in your integrity. Practice the pause. Practice the pause is one of the hard things for me. It's like pause, pause, pause. Everything's about to snap. And yeah, practice the pause. And then we'll be able to navigate these, all of these energies a whole lot smoother. And keep us, you know, on our aligned path for the greater good. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for joining me, Dawn and Kelly, in my first live. Mwah. Sorry for going so fast, but it is that time of day where my other half is coming home. And yeah. So anyways, stay curious. Stay unapologetically yourself. As always, keep shining your light. See you next time, guys.